What if you had a company with 75 employees? Would you have 75 computers? What if they work remotely? Well, there's a solution. Windows 365, a complete Windows experience in the cloud. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, just quick thoughts here on this. I did not know this existed. So 50 Shades actually posted about this Windows 365. And it was, 2 months ago? I was kind of joking around. I mean, I believed that it would happen, but I always kept saying, and I've been posting and commenting on all kinds of other people's videos, that Windows would eventually become a subscription-based service. And some people don't think that will happen. Some people don't want it to happen. It will happen at some point. But I didn't know that. When I was saying this, I was just thinking like, that's probably what's going to happen, but I had no idea. So this actually came out years ago. Windows 365. It's a subscription-based Windows PC, a virtual PC. So you're buying not just the Windows, but the hardware. It's a cloud-based Windows. And I don't know why nobody talks about this. I guess because it's been a few years since it came out, so I guess all of the discussion about it is gone now. Nobody cares anymore. It's not really for the end user. It's for business, but it is very interesting because I looked it up and now they're releasing the Windows 365 Link, which is Microsoft is selling the actual PC client machine for $349, which is what allows you to access the Windows 365. So nothing's really on the PC itself. It's all internet. And it's kind of good, I think, for a business. I mean, think about it. If you had 18 employees and you had to buy each one a computer, or you have 3 people using one computer, 3 people using another computer, they have to log in. All of the files are on the computer. The computer breaks down, it gets dirty, whatever. It's very time consuming and cost not effective for the company. Whereas you could just have one client PC, I mean, not necessarily the Microsoft one, but any client PC, and Bob could come in and use the PC and log in, and he'll be in his Windows environment, which is not on the computer. And then Sally can come in on her shift after. She can access her computer. Again, nothing's on the actual computer. It's all in the cloud. Of course, as long as the internet could handle that sort of bandwidth. So my theory was that the Windows would be cloud-based. That's fine. But there's something that I didn't think of. They let you access the hardware via the cloud. So your subscription to Windows also includes the CPU power, the RAM, and the storage, which is offsite somewhere. And then you pay per, however much you need. So you have, let's say, the employee that just started yesterday, he doesn't need that much power. But then you have the other one who does a lot of, let's say, video editing or stuff like that, engineering, 3D modeling software, stuff like that. He needs a better computer. So you would, for him, pay for the extra power. And it reminds me of the GeForce Now thing where you could buy the GPU power, which I guess is not that popular anymore because nobody talks about it. But you can buy what you need. And so here's the pricing of it. This is the business pricing. Just for example, this is on the Microsoft website. So the cheapest plan right now, it used to be $20. Now it's $32 per month per user for a 2 CPU processor, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage. It's $28 if you subscribe with some other thing. Windows hybrid benefit. What is that? Hybrid benefit. It is something else. Not sure what hybrid benefit is. It's a few dollars cheaper if you have that. So it goes 32 for 64 gigs, 35 for 128, 44 for 256. And then it goes 45 for 8 gigs of RAM, 70 for 16 gigs of RAM and 4 CPUs. They call it vCPU. And you might think, well, gee, 4 gigs of memory, that's not enough for a computer. But you have to think about it this way. The computer is not really running Windows. It's running whatever you're doing. 4 gigs of memory is plenty if you only do one thing. If you only log in to your accounting software and do payroll, 4 gigs is fine. If you have to have 2 screens open at the same time, then maybe you need 8 gigs or something like that. So it's really interesting. I don't know of anybody that I know of that's ever actually used this. Nobody's ever mentioned it that I know. But the fact that it exists at all, Windows 365, again, it will happen. Windows will become a subscription product at some point in time. Now check this out. What if all these old computers that don't run Windows 11 could somehow access Windows 365? So you've already got all of the PCs in place, right? And they're slow. But the Windows 365 is not using the power from that machine. So all of them will be able to run 365 Windows because all of the power is off-site. So it's kind of perfect. If they could find a way to make this available to the masses, the consumers, that would be something, but nobody's going to pay $30 a month for Windows. I mean, I would say probably, what's Netflix now? $8 a month? If it was the same price about as a streaming service, I think people would go for it. I would say maybe $10 a month for monthly, and then maybe $8 a month for yearly. And the thing is, once you have somebody subscribing to these products, they cannot cancel because they're going to lose access to their computer, their virtual computer. And you'd say, well, you could just run a virtual machine and run Windows in a virtual machine. But nobody knows how to do that. Even I barely know how to do it. I mean, I've seen it done and I've tried it, but I'm talking about average grandpa, grandma. They don't want to do all that. They don't want to buy a new computer. They just want to use Windows, and that's not outdated. Also, it's not clear what Windows 365 is. It's not Windows 10 and it's not Windows 11. So I don't know. It looks like Windows 10. I'm not sure what it is. I wish there was a way I could try it, but... So yeah, that's something very interesting. If you go to the Windows 365 website right now, it just has business and enterprise, but there will be a day when you can use this. And also think about it this way. Let's say you had a Windows 365 setup at home, right? And then you travel 3 states down the road for work. You can use any computer and log into Windows 365, and your whole computer is there. Everything, your files, whatever you were doing last time, exactly there. Now, I do this myself, sort of. What I do is I have everything on my personal computer is all of the files go to OneDrive. So if I was to use another computer in another state, all I would have to do is log into my OneDrive and all my files are there. But they're just files. It's not the whole experience of Windows. So now, I mean, your background would be there, your links would be there, your search history would be there. So it's kind of cool. I know people don't like subscriptions, but it's kind of not bad. If you don't want to buy a new computer, and let's say it's $8 a month for 12 months, it's $100 a year, $96. $100 a year for 3 years is cheaper than buying a new computer. Because if you go down to the store right now, if you go to Walmart, all the computers, or Best Buy, they're all $300. So $8 a month for 3 years. You never have to buy a new computer. You can keep using the old one. If the old one dies, you can use another computer, and you can just, nothing ever leaves. It's always there. So I like it. I hope that they can implement this into actual use for people. And maybe if you could combine Windows 365 and Office 365 into one sort of big product for maybe, because Office is Office is $6.99 a month. Windows would be $8.99 a month. Maybe for $13.99 a month, you could have Windows Virtual PC and Office and 1 terabyte of cloud storage and never have to buy a computer. And it works on your phone. It works on a Mac. Works on Android. Yeah. It's exciting. As far as the Windows Link thing, I don't know. That's just kind of a gimmick for Microsoft to sell computers. I don't think people will buy that. That's just for companies and stuff. But I mean, you can use, with Windows 365, you should be able to use any computer. Oh, and they have for security, so you can carry around a USB stick and stick it in any computer, and that's your password. But I think the Link has a fingerprint reader on it. Anyway, we'll have to look into this further. I want to see if there's a way I can try it somehow. I don't know anybody that uses this because I've never heard of it before. But yeah, that's just my quick thoughts. Subscription-based Windows, here we come. Maybe a year from now, and we'll see it happen. All right, let me know what you think.